Hi everybody, welcome to Push It Up video. My name is Eric and today we'll be looking at Matcha or green tea. Matcha is a two-player game, plays about 20 minutes or so, and it was released in 2015. It was a Kickstarter, it was successfully funded, and is now available for both Kickstarter and for retail. So Matcha is designed by David Harding. I think David Harding the third, because from Board Game Geek I can see that there's 3 there. So David Harding, and he was also the designer of 101 and 11 Sis, which I like, and which was also another tea game. I sense a trend here, but that was based in like the British tea that we have, and this is the Japanese tea. And David Harding also designs and publishes his own games. So this is by Grail Games, which is owned by David Harding. So this is a two-player game, as I mentioned. It's a light game, pretty light game. Plays quite fast. The components revolve around these 18 cards that you play. And so let's take a look at the game components, how to play the game, and my thoughts about the game. Alright, so this is what you get in a game of Matcha. There are mostly cards and these wooden bits. So the main thing that you have is you have these 8 tatami cards. Alright, they represent like the Japanese mats that you find in a lot of Japanese homes. So what happens is that these will be where they kind of represent the rounds in a particular set. So Matcha takes place over several sets of 3 rounds each, and then it goes back and forth until a player has met the winning condition, and then the game will end. So these represent each round, and each round will always be the same. You have one tatami mat that shows the numbers, and then one that shows the symbols. So there's 5 different symbols in the game. Only 4 of them will be represented here. There's also 18, and these 2 are for you to store, for the players to store their tokens that they have won on. Alright, so this is how you lay out the board. The play area at the beginning. There's also 18 cards that you have, and they are beautifully painted. You will see that these are the 18 cards. There's 4 different suits, as I mentioned, and 4 different numbers. So the numbers are from 1 to 4. Alright, so you can see that they are really nice looking art here. There's also 2 0 cards which do not match any suits or any numbers. Alright. And lastly, you will see that these are all the components that you have, all these nice wooden components that you have in the game. Now, component-wise, art-wise, is really gorgeous. I mean, I can see there's a lot of effort that's spent on getting the right components. So these are supposed to be like tea bowls, tea bowls in a way. And there's water, tea leaves. This is whisk, and this is the tea stick in a way. The art is really nice as well. You can see that this is all gorgeous art. So kudos to Grail Games for spending the time and effort to create such a nice looking artwork. And you can see that they even bothered to put the ranking order on the card so that you can easily see it without needing to reference it all the time. So this is really very thoughtful of them, and very good work. Alright, so let's go to how to play the game. So at the start of the game, you take this whole stack of 18 cards, you shuffle it. Alright, then you put 6 cards aside, and then you add these 2 0 cards in. Alright, then you shuffle it again, and you deal 5 cards to each player. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the last 2 cards will not be in this set. Alright, so every time when you set up for a new set of rounds to play, alright, you do the same thing again. So you have all this set up. You deal 5 cards, and then 6 cards that you set aside at the beginning of the game, you now review them one by one onto each of the tatami mats. So you put here like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, and like that. Okay. Alright. So beginning with the dealer's left. So I'm a dealer, so we're starting from the left. Alright, each player, and also beginning with dealer, the dealer will either play a card down, alright, or pass. If you pass, that means you cannot do anything until we start the next round. So again, the game is run in series of sets of rounds. So there's round 1, round 2, round 3. After you've both passed on round 1, you resolve the cards that you have played there then you go to round 2. Do the same thing, resolve, round 3. Do the same thing, resolve. Then you shuffle everything again, and you set up again. Alright, so when you during your turn, I can either play a card or you pass. So when you play a card, you are placing a card face down into either of this, depending on the round. So either of this. Now what you're trying to do is you're trying to play a card that best matches whatever this mat and this card requires, or you're trying to bluff your opponent and play something that does not match and still be able to get one of the tokens. Alright, so let's say if you, for example, for this map, alright, it says that you must, for the best match, you must play a card that best matches this number. So in this case, if you play another 2, alright, then you best match it. Now, if both players play the same number 2 card, then it depends on the suit, whichever suit is higher. So if I play a 2 bowl, I will probably beat whatever that is below, because the 2 leaves is already here and leaves is the highest. And if I had the 2 leaf, then he might be able to play the 2 yellow stick to beat me. But since if I had the 2 bowl, then I will more or less guarantee my victory here. So what happens is that if I play a 2 bowl here, and if I win it, I will be able to get 1 leaf token as the victory. Now if my opponent plays something else and did not match, alright, then my opponent will, as a consolation prize, get 1 white color whisk. Alright, so in this case, the other mat is you're trying to match the symbol. So you're trying to match the symbol here, and if I manage to match the symbol here, then whoever played the highest card will win. So in this case, if I have a 3 stick yellow stick here, I will most likely win this. I'll definitely win this the matchup here. Alright, and then if I could not match it, then I'll play something else so that I can still be able to get a whisk, a white color whisk. Alright. Now the thing is, what happens if you play a card and your opponent does not play a card? Because you have only 5 cards, there's 6 areas you can play the cards to, so definitely you will not be playing 1 card to one of the areas. Alright, if you manage to play a card and your opponent did not play a card, you keep the card face down. That means that you also by default win this bout here. So if I play a card, my opponent did not play a card, I do not need to reveal my card. It automatically counts as a best match, and I'll get 1 yellow stick here as my reward. Alright, so in this case, so you're trying to go around matching your opponent or beat your opponent and get the various tokens, so that when the end of the 6 when you want to check your victory conditions, if you have 4 of the same tokens, alright, you win. Or if you have 5 different tokens, because there's 5 different types, you have 1 of each of the types, in this case like so, then you will also win. Alright, now if there's a tie, alright, then whoever has the most tokens of the highest suit, which is the leaf, the leaf here, will win. If not, if there's tie on there, then whoever has the most number of bowl tokens and water tokens and stick tokens. Alright, the white color whisk does not count as majority. Alright, and so that's how you play Matcha. Simple. You're trying to bluff your opponent, you're trying to see what you can play from your hand of cards, and try to match up the different set of conditions that are on the board. If you best match, you get a token. If you can bluff your opponent, you still get you also get a token. If you cannot bluff your opponent, but you still manage to play, you also get a token. So it's about managing how you get the tokens and see whether you can meet the winning condition, which is 5 different ones or 4 of the same, at least 4 of the same ones to win the game. Alright, and so that's how you play Matcha. So let's go to my thoughts about the game. Alright, so what did I think of Matcha? Now I'm kind of torn with the game. I really want to like the game. I saw the box, it looks so interesting, the art looks beautiful, it wants to make me like the game because of all these nice looking components, and it is a very light game. I mean, there's 18 cards and it feels as if it's supposed to be a easy micro game, and I really liked what the designer did previously with 11s, and so I wanted to really like the game, but I found that there are just several things that hold me back. For example, it is a really light game, and it is a bit too light for my tastes. There are also not that much hidden information that you can do a lot with. Most of the time when we are playing it, there's usually one optimum choice to do. So you will know that there's 2 cards that's out of the game. Alright, it could be zeros, it could be something else. But from when you're looking at the board, you can roughly tell what other cards your opponent will have in his hand. Alright, so I think the ratio might not be that correct. That probably needs to be a bit more hidden information so that you cannot 100% know what your opponent has in his hand. Alright, and also the fact that you are dealt 5 of these cards and there's 6 sections where you are trying to play to. So it means that it's unlikely you definitely will be missing one of them. Alright, but which one you want to miss is entirely up to you. If you want to play ultimately, you probably will miss the one that you will not have a good match for. Alright, unless you are not a dealer that turn, so that might give you a bit more options than if you're a dealer. So being a dealer it means playing first kind of sucks in a way, but I guess that's to negate the first player advantage. So having 5 cards and then the 6 sections, it does not give you a lot of agency, not a lot of options for you to do fancy strategies. So it might be that there's fewer selections for you to play these cards. Alright, then that might mean that you have a bit more options, or maybe that it just gives you an illusion of choice. But having an illusion of choice is better than knowing that, well, I have this 5 cards and that's it. I mean, I roughly know what my opponent has, and it's just like a go through the motion kind of thing. So it did not feel that satisfying when I played it. Especially if you play with 2 like optimally players who play very optimally, then you kind of know by default what's going to happen. So yeah, I can see why I can see what David is going for. I mean, he wanted a light micro game that's easy to play but with great components so that you can remember the game. You can easy to set up, easy to teach, easy to learn how to play. But ultimately, I feel that, I don't know, perhaps it could be that you kind of want more, or maybe my expectation of the game was a bit higher than what it was trying to deliver. So that might be a mismatch on my part, and that ends up making me feel that a bit let down by the game. So that could be entirely me. If you liked micro games like Love Letter and stuff like that, you might want to give this a try. I do like Love Letter. I know that it is a simple card game, easy to play and stuff like that. But perhaps maybe with all these components, it kind of makes me feel that this should be a game that has a bit more depth. For example, like if I play 11s, I feel that 11s is a bit heavier than Matcha, and I would enjoy 11s more than Matcha. But if you do like 11s, maybe you want to give Matcha a try. So my conclusion is that I think Matcha is a try before you buy. Once again, thanks to Grail Games for this review copy, and thank you for watching.